Mhm, mhm, mhm. Mm, it's sweet. 3 a.m. professing smitten, and I'm begging. Red eye, TNY, just for a little piece of heaven. Frosted tip lips baptized. What a blessing. Every time I get to taste your inner thigh, I'm obsessing. Line my throat with your hands, details your commands. Your eyes connect with mine, I'm introduced to your plan. Grasping on your waist because I'm lost in your wealth. You pin my hands back, so keep my hands to myself. When you sway with intention, breaking down the suspension, confessing your conditions, tremors from your affliction, crippled from your addiction, coming into remission. Then I put you to submission. We're in a battle of attrition. Read my body language and gauge how much I'm poignant. Hands across your body, and by the way my legs are pointed, eyes lost in the abyss, stimulated bliss, a halt in your breathing. I'm catching tears on your lips. I adjust my rate of speed, decipher all your needs. Eyes open as we leap. I venture more into the deep, reaching down for your throne, peeling back your collarbone. Friction turns your vocal tones. Then you start to ebb and flow, bracing for how my pelvis rolls and impacts my angles toll through the depths. I control them, gonna pull it from your soul onto my soliloquy. I kiss towards your divinity and keep my eyes open as I find my serenity. Few things mean more to me. God, some kids and family, then head trips from your ecstasy. When I'm in between your knees, increasing my intensity, you guide my head intently to remember your favorite vividly and tell you what you did to me. Eliminate the metaphors, rip the knob off the door, destroy the handles on my drawer. While spreading love, I implore your supple honey couture, insatiable. I want more, like I never had you before. I'll never feel you no more. Put strain on your vocal cords, cover all your contours until you're shaken from your core, evacuating to the floor. I'm dedicated to these nights out, predicated on your white out, eviscerating any new doubt, collapsing on me, lights out, via fault. You know what I just remembered? Well, hold on. First and foremost, I'm Dominic Gatsby. This is my Passive Moon and Through the Stars series, which is really me practicing my prose, if you will. My performances, how I want to do them when we get out of COVID and I can actually get back to busboys and poets and so on and so forth. That one right there is something I've already had before, and something I think I'm gonna do in the future is do redos, not redos. I'm gonna call it redux. It sounds cool, but um if you look at this series, what the series will do is show like the process, the creative process to as I've learned things as far as vocal inflections, when to do it, how to do it, things that are natural, when I'm forcing it, when to slow down, when to speed up, basically keeping people's attention. Because even with this one, which I'll show you guys because I'm gonna have fun with this one tonight, it's totally different when you take the music away. And I use music because it helps me keep that pacing. So find the pacing and find my cadence. So it's pretty fun. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do this one more time. For instance, anybody who might come in late and go for there. Thank you for showing up. Tonight, anyone who comes by later, and I've noticed there's somebody or some people who actually sit here and watch like 20, 30, 40 minutes of me doing these, and I find them fun to do. It's a very interesting process that actually started because I heard of all people, Irv Gotti, but he was on Drink Champs talking about it, and he was like, he's talking about how the difference between DMX's cadence and DMX's cadence and someone else's cadence, I forgot. Oh, Biggie's, excuse me. And that's when it really kind of resonated. And ever since then, I've been working on that. So let's do it again. Yeah. All right. It's sweet. 3 a.m. professing smitten, and I'm begging. Red eye, TNY, just for a little piece of heaven. Frosted tip lips baptized. What a blessing. Every time I get to taste your inner thigh, I'm obsessing. Line my throat with your hands, details your commands. Your eyes connect with mine. I'm introduced to your plan, grasping on your waist because I'm lost in your wealth. You pin my hands back, so keep my hands to myself. When you sway with intention, when you sway with intention, breaking down the suspension, confessing your conditions, tremors from your affliction, crippled from your addiction, coming into remission. Then I put you to submission. We're in a battle of attrition. Read my body language and gauge how much I'm poignant. Hands across your body, and by the way my legs are pointed, As lost in the abyss, stimulated bliss, a halt in your breathing. I'm catching tears on your lips. I adjust my rate of speed, decipher all your needs. Eyes open as we leap, I venture more into the deep, reaching down for your throne, peeling back your collarbone. Friction turns your vocal tones, then you start to ebb and flow, bracing for how my pelvis rolls and impact my angles told through the depths I control. I'm gonna pull it from your soul onto my soliloquy. I kiss to your divinity and keep my eyes open as I find my serenity. Few things mean more to me, God, some kids and family, than head trips from your ecstasy when I'm in between your knees, increasing my intensity. You guide my head intently to remember your favorite vividly and tell you what you did to me. Eliminate the metaphors, rip the knob off the door, destroy the handles on my drawer. While spreading love, I implore your supple honey couture. Insatiable, I want more. Like I never had you before, I'll never feel you no more. Put strain on your vocal cords, cover all your contours until you're shaken from your core, evacuating to the floor. I'm dedicated to these nights out, predicated on your white out, eviscerating any new doubt, collapsing on me, lights out. So let me talk about things that I did differently in this one, not in this iteration, but tonight for this, and things. Let's start with that. I might not be on too long tonight because yeah, I might be until like 9:30 to be honest, because I was gonna watch someone go on Twitch, but I'll do that later. So in this one, I was listening to what is it? Actually, I'm gonna play it in the background. I was listening to Anderson .Paak's new song out with excuse me, Busta Rhymes' new song with Anderson .Paak called "You," and I love that jam. So anyway, and for some when I was listening to it, I just go off the vibe. Basically, let's go back to the beginning. And what I didn't do before is like, and it always bothered me. And I didn't have a place for smitten and I'm begging. It was always like a drop off, and I hated that. It's just like 3 a.m. professing, smitten and I'm begging. I love the way I put it together, but I hated how it sounded. This is definitely going to be different tonight because I usually just run through them and show y'all what things don't even actually go into context and what made me come to it and the differences. And I'm gonna put up an actual video of the one that I did before I came on. That took me an hour to get anywhere close to okay for this context. So anyway, so that's what I got to when I was vibing to this. That's how I got to 3 a.m. professing smitten and hold it just a little bit. And throughout, if you go look at the ones that I have done, I'm gonna go ahead and get that out of the way. All of my completed poems are under a playlist called Verbal Mosaics, and it's named that way for those who are unaware, who will see in the future. It's named that way because I try to paint with my words because I am a terrible painter. I wish I could. And it's my life. They're all true stories. And so it's in a way, it's not in a way, it's definitely telling people more about me. So it's more Zay and it's a mosaic. So it's more about me, Isaiah. So there's that. Anyhow, so 3 a.m. professing, smitten, and I'm begging. Red eye, TNY. So I wanted to slow it down like with this red eye, like hold the eye. You can hear it throughout there. And then I wanted to make sure I kind of, not too staccato, but it was like frosted tip lips, like to change it up. Otherwise, I'm going to lure people asleep, and I don't want to do that. And I learned that a while back, like just studying music and stuff like that. So going on from there, I wanted to get more like conversational about it. So when I go line my throat with your hands, it kind of changes it right there. Like, and I like that how I do that. And then tonight was when I finally did the grasping on your waist. Cause before I was always like grasping on your waist, and I hate to sound monotone. And it's really easy when you do like spoken word poetry to be monotone, and it sucks. So this is the way I try to change that because I'll be damned. Like I've done this stuff before, but I'll be damned if I come off as like bless the trailblazers, but I don't want to be stereotypical and sound like every type like back in the day when they had Def Poetry Jam. Love it. That's how I grew up on. But I want to take people out of that space, and I want to make it performance art. So even me in this video right now, like something I also try to be cognizant of is just a small space that I have to work in, and it doesn't do anything for the art if I'm out of the frame. So I'm trying to make sure I work on that. Like whenever I do my little movements and just operate in there, even my hand gestures, I didn't start doing that till recently. And I watch a lot of battle raps. I take components from battle rap. I take components from R&B, components from just anything, any type of music. And I really try to things that feel natural to me. I try to incorporate it. So bring it to life. And the thing that you lose is like not to jump around, but when I practice with music, it's definitely different to sing songy with music because it's based off of that. So I had to start once I get my cadence going and all that. I'll make sure to run through without the music. So that's why it sounds a little different today. Um, you'll notice a lot of that in that one, and I definitely wanted to do it to that poem because I love that, and it sounded dope with that. So let's keep it moving. Mm, okay. I might get normally I do listen to music, but I might get even bolder tonight. And go, let's have fun with pure love tonight. Now I normally don't do the name of the poems first, but tonight is different. We're gonna vibe. We're gonna vibe. And as always, this is going to be, excuse me, a real calm, collected space. People just relax. Go ahead and if you want now or later, you can go ahead and look through my old poems. I'm not. It's art. I'm not going to be hurt if you don't like them. It's not never every art piece of art isn't for everybody, so it's all good. It's just still honest though. That's all that matters. So let's do this. Let's have some fun with this. This is like a fast pace. So let's just have fun. Oh, so let me one more thing before I jump into this one. Since I didn't do my housekeeping like normal, these are not supposed to be all prim and proper and pretty. Like I'm going to read them. I'm going to look. Now I will also say when you look, and I've learned it is not the same when you just do it off the memory. You're still kind of, at least for me, I'm still restrained when I'm looking at it. Like the more I do it off of memory, so when I'm just practicing without it, I have so much more freedom. I feel it. I can really bring that emotion back out of what I was feeling in that moment, or recreate it now. Just like it feels real. It's just free when I don't have to read it. So anyway, let's go with it. Hmm. Oh goodness, this is gonna be an adventure. You know what? Okay, let's do it. We're just gonna start. We're gonna back this up, and yeah, we're gonna do it to the song. Okay. Woo. All right, hold on a second. Let me get my water. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's nice to. I just really appreciate anybody sharing, like coming through to look at my art. Let's go. Pure love. What does it mean? Oh, excuse me. What does my love? What does my love mean for you? It's consistent love without nerves or intimidation. Even when you fill me with frustration, conviction laced every word in your valuation. How he created our world, his manifestation, and how you're drunk in our love and its permeation, that you feel safe and assured in our elevation. But when I saw your tears pour after hesitation, I was shattered to core with your reservations. Again, you double back on your direction, stumbling on the stairs of dedication, roundabout with your words and participation, your misconception of worth from my soul's affection, as if God may have erred upon our selection. I learned the root and the depth of my animation. I found the truth in myself within the frustration. You're my ocular wealth. I have to be patient. In my spiritual journey, I found validation. I can't seem to deter from its maturation. As much as it hurts from the situation, I end up loving you more every variation. Like if you came in this world another complexion or full figured or low, I would never question. Excuse me. Or like if you came in, let me back up. Hold on. Here we go. In my spiritual journey, I found validation. I can't seem to deter from its maturation. As much as it hurts from the situation, I end up loving you more every variation. Like if you came in this world another complexion or full figured allure, you would never question. Just let me love and adore every incarnation. My life is enamored by yours without limitations. I'm basking in your butterscotch tone and its brilliance. Caramel coated eyes, I've been lost since you fed my soul by that church you were God sent. And every time you left, I couldn't make sense. Surrendered all my logic. I was convinced to love you as you are. My soul was intent. When evolution was due, I couldn't prevent. And every version of you was where my love went. Hidden every single sector of my soul with precision. Any given day, you're my emotional provisions. With him paramount, I praise all of his decisions while I figure out why he cements you in my vision. Then my head ticks in the stage, but in the comfort of your thighs. Fingers from my back rub, and they clear my mind. I see you feel the back love in your lowered eyes. Trials in my life, but can't help to realize the love he had in store before us materialized. I did a lot of choppy chop on that one. Like something else I'm not into. It doesn't work for me anyway. I don't think there's one rule for art. I feel like whatever works for you, as long as it's real. But first and foremost, before I jump into that, thank you for hanging out. Anybody tonight, anyone in the future, I appreciate you. This is beautiful. I love it. And while I do these things, of course, you can always. So if you've gone through some poems, tell me which ones you want to hear. If you do want to hear one, you can make requests. It's cool. And we'll just kick back into this. All right. So what I was doing in this one, which I was testing, not testing, and I think it was the music that was throwing me off. So we're gonna turn the music off again. Ooh, it's so different. I like to set the mood, but tonight, like I said, we're gonna do it differently. So get rid of the sing song factor. We're gonna do it again. Okay. All right. And I like to walk into my poems. I don't like to poem. There it is. So something, just to get it. It's got to be concise though. Can't just drag on like a whole conversation. So let's kick it. Yeah. What does my love? What does my love mean? Excuse me. What does my love mean for you? Damn it! Why do I keep fucking that up? What does my love for you mean? Consistent love without nerves or intimidation. Even when you fill me with frustration, conviction laced every word in your evaluation. How he created our world, his manifestation, and how you're drunk in our love and its permeation, that you feel safe and assured in our elevation. But when I saw your tears pour, I felt hesitation. I was shattered to core with your reservations. Again, you double back on your direction, stumbling on the stairs of dedication, roundabout with your words and participation, your misconception of worth for my soul's affection, as if God may have erred upon our selection. I learned the root and the depth of my animation. I found the truth of myself within the frustration. You're my ocular wealth, I have to be patient. In my spiritual journey, I found validation. I can't seem to deter from its maturation. As much as it hurts from the situation, I end up loving you more every variation. Like if you came in this world another complexion or full figured or loyal, you would never question. Just let me love and adore every incarnation. My life is enamored by yours without limitations. I'm basking in your butterscotch tone and its brilliance. Caramel coated eyes, I've been lost since. You fed my soul by that church, you were God sent. And every time you left, I couldn't make sense. Surrendered all my logic, I was convinced to love you as you are. My soul was intent. When evolution was due, I couldn't prevent. And every version of you is where my love went. Hidden every single sector of my soul with precision. Any given day, you're my emotional provisions. With him paramount, I praise all of his decisions while I figure out why he cements you in my vision. Then my head takes center stage, placing the comfort of your thighs. Fingers from my back rub, and they clear my mind. I see you feel the back love in your lowered eyes. Trials in my life, but can't help to realize the love he's had in stores before, the love he had in stores before us materialize. That last stanza really sounds forced, but I needed that for myself when I wrote this, when I wrote Pure Love. So that was more, I liked that one, how I did it this time. I mean, it was exactly how I would have wanted to do it if it was if I was going to do it under the redos, the reduxes. It'd still be redux. It can't be plural like that. Ugh, like Lexi. But anyway, no. But that's usually how it works is when I'm running through it in my mind, by myself without a mic, I'll do that, and I'll try to if I'm in a place where I'll try to record it if I can on my phone or something, so I have that. Excuse me, I need water. And I incorporate it. So all the things you heard even in the first poem in Via Fort. Excuse me, I'm not from St. Lucia or French or Caribbean. So all of the things that you heard differently, if you go back and look at the original one, those are things I pick up over the course of time. And there's a lot of things that I really picked up recently that I wanted to try. Now, when I got to the adjust my rate of speed, decipher all your needs, as open as we leap, I venture more into the deep. Reach stuff like that specific one. That hit me like a couple months ago, and I had some breaks because life happens and get in my feelings. What did Erica say? I'm sensitive. She said a better shit. I'm just sensitive. So, but anyway, Like, so even me having moments in there where I slow it down and it speeds back up, and then like increasing like and that's the other thing is when I learned about my inflections is it started out a huge gap, and I was like, this doesn't even sound natural. But you know how it's you're figuring it out. So you bring it in closer, bring it in closer, bring it in closer, bring it in closer, and it's me again actually studying music, listening to it, the artist that I like anyway, and I've noticed that, and I'll figure myself out. So something I noticed like months ago, even after the Irv Gotti interview thing, was one line will be higher pitch, next line lower pitch, one line higher pitch, one line lower pitch, high, low, high, low, high, low. And I noticed that the songs that at least I like and that become huge hits, no less, it's because somebody will like there's a huge build, and then it's a huge difference. It's just a drop. Like it'd be up here, and then all of a sudden it'll drop like on the next stanza, like the next line, and it's just like once I grasped that, I was like, okay. I was like, yes. Even Fat Joe, like I'll listen what he said. Everybody fly, put Fendi on the chauffeur. Like he could have been like everybody fly, put Fendi on the chauffeur, but it was like everybody fly, like hold the fly just a little bit. Everybody fly, put Fendi on the chauffeur. Like I like that. So that maybe even then that's when I had it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, when I started learning cadences, and I actually used that song from Fat Joe. I was going so fast, but I knew I wasn't gonna keep it that way. So typically, I will do that and then slow myself down, because if it sounds good high, it has to sound good at a fast pace. It has to sound good at a slow pace. Otherwise, I know it's not going to work without music at all. So I got to figure that out. Even have to write things better, something like that. So, 20 minutes. Thanks for kicking it so far. I appreciate y'all. Just listening to me talk about my musical journey, not musical, my journey with this, and a little thing to add. Pardon me. Is part of this is also to not only show people this is just because it's good practice. On top of that, but work with other people hopefully. And I do have ideas for like different kinds poetic series to do, but like I said, I don't want it to be in the sense like where you can, excuse me, basically what the stereotypical poetic tense would be like, moving down the street and I am trying to find my feet. Like I can't do it, But I will say Jill Scott killed that in He Loves Me, and it was Eliza in E flat when she's like, you love me from my hair follicles to my toenail. But it sounds sexy when she said it, so it's different. I'm not Jill Scott. So anyway, let's keep it moving. I don't know if I want to keep it down. We'll probably speed it up. I think I spent a lot of time on depressing poems. I think maybe we should go ahead and kick the beat up a little bit. And I think, like I said, tonight we're not worried about saying them afterwards, so forget all that. We're not about to fill it with dead space. So I have it's good because one of these things I look at is a submission I had to like Washington Square Review and some other people, and that's when I realized after that I was like, why am I? Even when I was submitting it, I was like, me submitting this is like, hey, can I fit into your box? And because when they read it, they're not going to feel it like I feel it, and that's part of why I started doing like spoken word, because I really want people to feel how I feel and see it in my face and feel that energy and the truth, because you're not going to get that through just reading it. You can maybe to an extent, but it differs through anybody even more. So I read it off of that. That's because that's where I have it, but it was an interesting concept to understand for myself. I was like, I'm glad they didn't take, because it wouldn't even sound right with you reading it. So, that's where we are. So you build your own space. Let's keep it positive. Not 25-29. That was depressing. That's depressing. That's depressing. That's depressing. Man, I'm always in my feelings. Ooh, I know what to do. You know what? We're gonna get a little nasty. I think we should stay in the nasty space, and that's what I also love is a story I do tell people is how I started with sexual poems, because originally I started with nothing but depressing poems like in high school and stuff, but that was my way to really like express myself and like operate through my depression and all that stuff. So that helped a lot. But as I got older, especially when I was doing free verse back in the day, as I got older, I moved away from that. I started using structure. It wasn't just me just writing it down and all that other stuff. It got more grown up basically, so people can understand it. And if you look at my really early stuff, I don't even know if I put them on there with me just sitting there. Some stuff is from a long time ago. I used to use words you'd have to look up in a dictionary, and I'm like, I got to stop doing that, because not necessarily dumbing it down, because that's not. I don't think that's the best word to use, but make it more simple, because if people have to think about what does that word mean, they're going to miss something. If you have to think, stop and think outside of the story that I'm writing for you, you're going to miss what I'm saying. So, and that's what I'm trying to do, is build this, like, keep this space and keep people in the space and have them like this movie playing out, and it's me saying it though, and them seeing it coming from me. If I put out words that are like 10 miles long, it's just not going to work. So I had to stop doing that. That was years ago when I stopped doing that though. And I don't think I've actually suffered anything from that. I think it was actually good to do. I think it was more mature. So let's do Bonsoir Saint Germain. Should we do that? Is that nasty enough? I don't think it's nasty enough. I think Gentleman's Club is nasty enough. But I think we're going to do Bonsoir Saint Germain tonight, and maybe cut it off at that, because I forgot I do need to actually get ready for work tomorrow, because I've been messing that up. So, whew. Before I start this, and I meant to say something in the beginning actually, I was trying to get my creative space. Breonna Taylor, man. Like, I don't think there's a black person on this country who believed that this was going to turn out in our favor at all. But it's different when it happens, when they tell you how worthless you are. It's one thing to know. It's another for someone to keep telling you. It's like in a relationship. It's one thing to know y'all are struggling. It's another when that person keeps telling you how you're messing up. So for them to tell us that as black people that we're worth less than the wall in a neighbor's house that had a hole in it, that right there, I was actually hurt about Breonna at that point. Like, I was upset about Breonna's passing, but at that point, I was hurt. So yeah, let's do it. I almost said I wasn't gonna do it, but we're gonna. I don't do the let's start and stop. No, we gotta do this. My current inspiration derives from intellectuality. Hold on. Let me stop the music, because I really want to just vibe on just pureness. My current inspiration derives from your intellectuality. Hold on to these words as I breathe life into them and create a new our reality. Find the belief in my eyes that in this moment you're a treasure, not a tragedy. And despite the pace and our tension, you know with me you would never be a casualty. Collapse these wings around me and detail your deepest fantasy. Your request is my mission. Make you lose your sanity. Embrace all your vanities until you speak solely in profanities. Realizing that you won't ever have to question this decision, personified by the way she exhales, in sync with my physical precision. Tell me how this movement was in her vision. Inexplicable, but she believed in her deepest intuition. She was just waiting for the perfect conditions. Her words are deeply increasing the power of my intention. With your neighbors listening to the sounds of our collisions, I increase my focus until they feel you lost your religion. Grasp the back of my mind as the wall tickles your spine. Don't break visual contact as I enter your divine. Trembling to the words I instruct, I'm committed in ways others were reluctant, ensuring that you never feel rushed, approaching this as if it'll be the last time we'll touch. Requesting my desires, but not one the specifics, discovering on her own and deciphering my hieroglyphics. Decoding through my neck makes me more prolific, riveting through my veins, and now I can do that one better. Let's back it up. See, this is exactly the stereotypical poetic prose, because I wasn't ready for this one. I just winged it. That's the right word? Whatever. And that's what happens. I'll default to, okay, we can just get through it. Like, but no. So I think in the future, like, until I get that good at it, I just coming off the cuff, either always be prepared to do even more than what I would do on a slam or something, which I would have in my mind, but several more, or just be okay with it. I don't think I'd ever be okay with subpar. So let's go back. Anyway, there you go. Requesting my desires, but not wanting the specifics. Discovering on her own and deciphering my hieroglyphics. Decoding through my neck makes me more prolific. Riveting through my veins, and now control is shifted. As your shoulders start to shudder and lips start to flutter, you're pulling back the covers elated, and you stutter as I take this a step further and you let out another. 2 years of my celibacy negated by your effect on me. Trembling to taste your ecstasy, speaking bilingual effectively, spelling her name carefully while down the line to destiny. Circles when you lock your knees, X's when you start to plead, moments when you forget to breathe while motioning for you to come to me. Arching your back simultaneously, even more when you yell for me, heart beating in brevity while releasing the flavor of your sanctity. Without taking a moment to savor, let's proceed to the next behavior. And when you lock your arms diagonally across my back passionately, the momentum in my hips drives me immaculately. Hands in your head as you dip down, presenting an altar to honor your crown. Arms in my shoulders move in rotation, intensifies deeper within your sensation. We could continue, but I do miss your eyes. I pull back your reins and you say that you're mine. Hand over neck, and my arms hold your thighs, lifted back up, sternum to spine. Switching positions without touching ground, carry you upward and slide right back down. Holding my face while receiving your kisses, forgiving apologies, foolishly resisted. Mixing the ingredients in your cinnamon confection, changing depth and direction in our melanin connection, reading your expressions through the power of my detection, raising your vocal inflections, traps me in your perfection. Continuation to an additional plunge, rolling my hips till I feel your lungs. Mm. Losing your eyes and biting your tongue, your nails pierce my flesh until you become undone. Tearfully detailing, not wanting to finish. Tearfully detailing, not wanting to finish. Physically conflicted, but you knew her strength was diminished. Holding me delicately, increasing my emotion effortlessly. Quivering increasingly, precipitating effectively. She pulls me in closer, air center of my core, asking if I've all she's ever wished for. Yes, however, you're much more. We wish for what we can't have, what's known but on an unreachable path. With you, I found a new wonder, an unmatchable standard, life altering number. Catching your breath and asking where I want to be, naturally with you, without uncertainty. Reminding you what happens, reminding you what inspires my vitality is your intellectuality. See, let me actually finish. I don't want to finish like that. Catching your breath and asking where I want to be, naturally with you, without uncertainty. Reminding you that what inspires my vitality is your intellectuality. Dominic Gatsby. Whew. Thanks for kicking it with 33 minutes on the unorthodox of unorthodox nights. I'm going to get out here and be responsible, be a whole adult for the rest of the night. Again, thank you for anyone who's been here tonight, who's here tonight, who comes tomorrow in the future. Don't be afraid to subscribe, share, like, dislike, praise, hate, whatever we want to do. I don't even call it hate. It's art. Is it really hating? Hating's extra stuff, you know. Be honest. It's all good. It's love, you know. It's a good positive space. Anyway, be good to each other. Love you.